Today we're going to do a 30-minute DIY that's going to take our garage doors from this to this. So here is what they look like. So lightweight. And these are strong. Look at this. The magnetic force is fierce on this. Hi, it's Steph, and today I have another transformation video for you. I'm going to show you how I updated the look of my garage doors in under 30 minutes per door using a product called GarageSkins. And we're also going to plant up a beautiful fall planter. So let's go back in time and I'm going to show you how it was done. Our home is about 14 years old, and at the time of building it, we went with a door that was really well insulated and had a high R rating because we were going for an ENERGY STAR home certification. And this door has served us really well. But a couple of years after we built the home, we decided that we wanted a little more curb appeal, and we ended up ordering some faux windows off of Etsy. Believe it or not, these are actually magnetic. And over the last several years, they've been here for about 10 years now, they've started to kind of warp a little bit from the sun hitting them. Here's a better example of some of the warping. You can see that it's kind of bowing at the bottom and starting to bubble up. So these will have to get removed off of our doors. And then to add even a little more curb appeal, we went ahead and bought some of this hardware, which we did not want to make holes in our steel door. So George had actually cut the heads off of the screws, glued them on to this metal bracket here, and then we double-sided taped this to the door. So our factory doors are still really in good shape with no holes on them, but we definitely want a little bit more curb appeal. So today they're going to have an even better upgrade. While doing some research online to figure out what we would do next to our garage doors, we kept coming across beautiful wood doors. And of course we would love the wood doors, but they're quite expensive. So we found an alternative that costs a fraction of the price. These are some wood veneer magnetic panels that you can add to your garage doors by a company called GarageSkins. The first thing we needed to figure out to see whether or not we could use the GarageSkin product on our doors was whether or not our doors are magnetic. And we knew that they were because we already had magnetic windows, but all you have to do is take a refrigerator magnet and stick it to your door. And that's step one. The next thing we needed to do was take some measurements. And to take measurements on the website, it does tell you that you have to take your width from where your weather stripping starts, from one side all the way to the other side of the weather stripping. And for the height, you're going to go from the concrete where your door lands to the top where your weather stripping starts. So you're just getting the measurements of the face of your door. Once we knew that our garage doors were compatible, we then had to decide on a door style and color. So you can see here they come in 1-car systems, 2-car systems, different sizes as well as custom, and a variety of styles. They also come in multiple colors. So in order to make the right decision on a color, we did order a sample pack, and this is what it looks like. And it'll give you additional information on how to order. And you can see that it is a lightweight veneer, actual wood product. And here are the colors that you can choose from. And we went ahead and selected this color here, which is Tennessee Walnut. Now we're going to get ready for installation. So we're going to remove our magnetic windows, the hardware, and we're going to wash our doors down with Dawn dish soap, which is what the recommendation is on the website. And then we'll be ready to unbox. We just finished up washing and drying our garage doors. Now, ideally, you want to do this the day before so that they have time to dry, but we've been short on time, so we went ahead and we washed them, and we expedited the drying process by using our leaf blower and a chamois. So now they are nice and dry. The key is to get all of the debris off of the door so that your magnets stick really well. So you can see we still have a little bit of the residue, but it's nice and flat and it is clean, so it is not going to disrupt anything when we go ahead and install the panels. And the last thing you have to do, and one of the important things before starting your installation, is to make sure that you mark your center point. And that is so that when you start laying your panels, you start at the center and all of the other ones will line up accordingly. So right here, George went ahead and he marked our center point. So now we're ready to open up the box and get started. You can see that my box is marked open first, and that is really important because these boxes come labeled box 1 of 3, and they are packaged in these boxes in the order of installation. So it's very important that you get your boxes lined up correctly because they're going to go in order. And you'll see that on the back of the panels, they are marked with numbers, and that will also help you with your installation. They're really well packaged, so you don't have to worry about your wood getting damaged in shipment. Oh, it looks so pretty. So here is what they look like. So lightweight. I think that's going to look beautiful. And you can see how they are marked. All right, let's go ahead and start the install. When I pulled this panel out of the box, it was labeled B1. And you might be thinking, if this is the first panel, why doesn't it say A1? Well, the reason for that is because B happens to be our center panel. You can see here on the grid that they provide that they're labeled by columns and rows. So we're going to be starting right here at B1, which is the center point that we marked on our door. So that is our first panel. So I'm going to go ahead and lift the door until it's about waist high, and then we'll start installation. I got my first row in and it was super easy. It took me all of 5 minutes. And these are strong. Look at this. The magnetic force is fierce on this. So once you get them in, it's just a little bit of work to kind of shimmy them in place. But once they're on, they're not going anywhere. So let me go ahead and get the rest on. All right, this box is done. On to the next one. I'm on my last row right now, and I left a little gap in the door so that this can slide right under. And what's great is that you can see that the top of the panel kind of tapers to make it nice and easy and thin to slide underneath the weather stripping. You guys, look how good this looks. I am so excited about it. I keep telling George, like, look how pretty. So this was definitely a great upgrade, and it took me 23 minutes. And I know that because we have a time-lapse video going of the process of me putting them on. So really quick installation. And there's also some additional hardware that you can order. So we went ahead and we ordered some of these metal brackets like we had in our doors before, and I'm gonna go ahead and install them. They're also magnetic. So I'm gonna look for the center. We had them on the second row from the bottom. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stick them there. And I'm kind of eyeballing it, but when I step back, I can kind of adjust them to where I want them. And then these. I feel like a little kid on Christmas. I absolutely love these. These look so beautiful. I just can't get over how pretty they look and how much they just upgraded the curb appeal of our house when you come down the driveway. I really love the way our garages are looking, and I think this project turned out beautifully. So I'm going to go through and answer some of the questions that you might likely have about a project like this, starting with price. Now, these are much more affordable than traditional wood doors. They're actually listed as a sixth of the price on their website, which, if you're curious about how much the doors would cost, it will vary depending on the style as well as the dimensions of your doors. But you can go onto their website, which I will list down below in the description, as well as a promo code, and you can go ahead and check out the price of the doors. Number 2, did I have to modify my garage doors? No, because when you place your order for your GarageSkins, they will custom make those panels specifically for your garage door. In fact, all of our weather stripping stayed intact. The only thing we did was on the afternoon of installation, we did call in a garage professional to go ahead and take a look at our springs, and he adjusted our torsion springs to account for the extra weight on our 16-foot door. Number 3, what if you have windows? In our case, we didn't, but I believe that you can place the GarageSkins right over your windows. However, there is a new product coming out shortly called GarageSkins, which will allow you to add panels with windows. And if you have windows, they will go over your existing windows. And if you don't, but you want the look of windows, it will have a smoked glass to give you that effect. So I will go ahead and insert a picture so that you can see what that looks like. Number 4, style and color. We selected the paddock style in the color Tennessee Walnut. And you can see that the color is pretty true. If I go ahead and place this here, it's a pretty good match. Now it is wood, so naturally wood has variation, but you can see if you pick a color, that's going to be really close, if not almost perfect. Number 5, how strong are these magnets? They are wicked strong. In fact, when you go ahead and place them on the door, they just snap in place. So I don't see them going anywhere. And number 6, did I have to call in a garage professional to install these GarageSkins for me? No, I did it all myself, and each door in under 30 minutes. And if you fast forwarded to get to this point, go ahead and take a look at me installing these myself. And if you're here for the plants, let me go ahead and show you this beautiful fall planter that I put together. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. In the back, I added a grass. This is a purple fountain grass, which happens to be an annual in my zone 6 here. But I think as it grows, it will fill out the back of this container with these really beautiful plumes, and I think it's going to look lovely. Right in front of that, I added a plant called a Dragon's Breath Celosia. This is also an annual, and I think both the foliage and these plumes that are going to come up in the shade of deep pink, almost red, are going to look really pretty. Here on the side, I added a perennial that blooms in the fall, and this is Aster in a really pretty shade of purple. In this corner here, I tucked a heuchera called, a coral bell called Caramel. And as it gets more sun, it's going to have a bit more orange foliage and yellow and some shades of green. And I think it's going to look really pretty with the contrast of the celosia leaves. And on this corner, I have a Fun and Games I Spy heucherella by Proven Winners. And I also picked this one because of the dark veining in the leaf that also coordinates nicely with the celosia. So all in all, I'm really happy with this container, and I think it's going to look really pretty this fall. So if you're looking to upgrade your garage doors in a snap, go ahead and check out GarageSkins. I will leave the website as well as the promo code in the description of this video below. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will catch you in the next one.